for all you people out there jumping on the bandwagon.
So I actually had a few folks ask me if, they are considered class traders. And I wanted to amplify that message because I think that folks, like she says in the TikTok, do your research. Like, I mean, and she ends it with white women, you aren't our moral compass. But I'm not going to lie, I've actually found a lot of Muslims, a lot of new Canadians, a lot of new Americans are really uneducated on Indigenous issues. So, like, regularly excluded from these conversations. We're at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder. This is stolen land. And people actually have the audacity to use those chants about this being a stolen land and then not including us. So, I'm going to be pro Palestine, even though I have a lot of ignorant folks around me that are also pro Palestine, but ignorant on Indigenous issues. So, if you are going to cancel Lily Gladstone, if you're going to cancel Chasing Horse there because of them going to the Met Gala, the bottom line is you're a racist. You're an anti-indigenous biased racist, and you have that anti-indigenous bias in you. You hate us. You love our stolen land. You love all of our resources. So for folks who think for a second it's okay to cancel them, like, you are so ignorant and out to lunch. You have no idea what you're talking about. Literally, has there ever been a native ever at the Met Gala ever? And like today we've had a lot of trauma here in Calgary at the UFC, and we're trying to figure it out. But we have people that are still excluding the queer community, and we just had Red Dress Day. Red Dress Day literally is to talk about the straight Christian agenda forced on these lands, killing the queer folks that we call them two-spirit. You're not getting it. Not getting it at all. If you think for a second it's okay to cancel those two Indigenous women. And back to that original TikTok, they're activists. Absolutely, they are. Why? Because these so called allies of ours are still not getting it. Literally this morning, I've had people who follow me that still don't advocate for the 231 calls to justice from the National Inquiry on Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, Two-Spirit, and Exploited Men. And they also don't advocate for the 94 calls to action. Why are you following me? You know this is what I'm talking about all the time, and you're not amplifying it. Sure, not writing your elected officials on these issues. Why are you listening to my podcast? Are you? I know you're not. I can tell you're not. I had some jerk I just had to block because he's like, well, you're not pro immigrant enough. I'm like, you've never listened to a single one of my podcasts because it's in every single one of them at the end, but you don't bother. So, like, don't waste my time, folks. If you're here to learn, great. We got a book club tomorrow. We have the Reconciliation Action Group to work on. All these folks that I seen at the UFC, not at the Reconciliation Action Group, not my book club. So don't pretend you're some kind of ally to us if you're going to cancel our two prominent figures